You may have heard about Google's new update called the Helpful Content Update. And if you've been wondering what it is and what you need to do about it, well, that's exactly what I'm going to answer for you here. In fact, here we're going to be talking about what the Google Helpful Content Update is all about, how to avoid being penalized, and what action steps you need to take moving forward. Now, what we're going to be talking about here is going to apply to other Google algorithm updates as well. Now, let's talk about what this Helpful Content Update is about. Google continues to be able to provide the best, most useful, helpful content and information that they can to their searchers. And this Helpful Content Update only expands that effort. They want their searchers to have a positive experience. This means that they're given helpful, original content that really satisfies their search. So to sum this up quickly, this means they want to share content that has been created with the searcher in mind first and search engines second. So how can you avoid being penalized by this update or seeing a drop in your traffic? So to avoid being penalized, you want to do just that. You want to create content that is original, that is really helpful, and that you have created specifically for that searcher in mind, and not just simply creating content because you think it's going to rank and get you traffic. You want to make sure that all of the content you're creating is genuinely going to help the visitor that lands on that page. And to make sure that you're doing just that, or that you really have checks and balances in place, Google has given a few example questions for you to ask yourself when creating your content. Do you have an existing or intended audience for your business or site that would find the content useful if they came directly to you? So if your website is about one particular topic, but you see a keyword that has a lot of volume, it's low competition, you want to rank for it, so you just throw it on your website, but it wouldn't be helpful to those who just come to your homepage and happen to see that post. It's probably not the right fit. Does your content clearly demonstrate firsthand expertise and a depth of knowledge? For example, expertise that comes from having actually used a product or service or visiting a place. Does your site have a primary purpose or focus? And after reading your content, will someone leave feeling they've learned enough about a topic to help achieve their goal? So oftentimes we have a visitor coming to our site because they have a specific problem, whether it's just something simple like they need to find a restaurant to go to, or they're looking for some events this weekend. There's all types of solutions, both big and small, that they're searching for. So we want to make sure that we really cover the topic thoroughly to help them with their query. So what action steps do you need to take moving forward? The first thing that I recommend is that you watch search engine volatility with SEMrush Sensor, which I'll link to below. And this is something that you can do completely for free. And if you set up position tracking with them, you have an account with them, then you can actually get a personal score for your website or your client's website, so you can see how volatile the rankings are for your specific site, which can be very helpful. Now, the second thing you want to do is make sure that you are setting up position tracking. If you are working on SEO, you should already be doing that, but you want to make sure that you are tracking all of your keywords and regularly looking at them, especially when you know that updates are going to hit, so that you can make sure that your website is still staying strong. And third, I want you to remember that fluctuations in your rankings don't always have to do with algorithm updates. So don't always jump to the assumption that your site has been hit if you see any rankings or traffic start to go down. You always want to look at your data to figure out the reason. So if you're in your SEO tool, like SEMrush, for example, and you see that you have lost rankings, you want to go and take a look at your traffic data. So log into Google Analytics and see if you can find a direct correlation in traffic going down as those rankings have been lost. And that will give you better insight into actually if your website has been hit. And if you really want to feel more confident that you are creating the right type of content, that you are doing SEO in a way that is not going to be impacted by future algorithm updates so you can sleep at night, then I'm also going to put a link below directly to Google's guidelines that they give you about content, about SEO, so you can make sure that everything that you do stays in line with the guidelines that Google is giving you. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Keep creating that content that is meant for the users, and that is really going to help keep your site performing well for you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'll catch you next time.